Sources from the MDC claim Combs had a meltdown in prison over the holidays, distraught that he remains behind bars. A panicked Combs reportedly begged guards to take him to the prison hospital, claiming he was having a breakdown. Inmates say when guards refused his request, the rapper spent several hours using meditation techniques to calm himself down. Observers at recent court hearings say prison and meal refusals appear to be taking a toll on Combs, who looks astonishingly thinner and grayer.
While we're all decking our halls and stuffing our faces with holiday treats, poor Diddy is sitting in a cold, dreary prison cell. And let me tell you, darling, he is not looking like his usual fabulous self. Word on the street is that he's practically wasting away. We're talking thinner, weaker, and absolutely shattered. But here's the real gag. Apparently, those prison guards just turned a blind eye when he literally collapsed. Can you even?
They're saying that Sean Diddy Combs had a festive meltdown in a notorious hellhole prison because he couldn't believe he was still behind bars there, it was claimed. A panicked Diddy reportedly pleaded with guards to be taken to a prison hospital for observation, claiming he thought he was having a breakdown on Thursday. The guards at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center refused his request, according to a source close to the rapper who was locked up in September. Now, I think because of everything that's going on, everything that's coming out, that, again, the reality is setting in that I actually may not be getting up out of here. It's really starting to hit him. You know, with all the trying to make bells and all this stuff. And then maybe he caught wind of what's going on with Jay-Z and how Jay-Z is willing to throw him under the bus to get his name separated from him. So all of that is just coming at him real fast. Yeah.
Now, here's what's got everyone's tongues wagging. How does a billionaire end up fighting for his life with zero help? Like, was this some shady business? Or were they really just that negligent? And chilly, let me spill some piping hot tea about what's really going down in Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center. Trust me, Diddy's team is probably having heart palpitations just thinking about these secrets getting out.
Well, Andy, everything so far is going very smoothly, but you can be sure that's going to change in the months ahead as they get close to that May trial date. But Sean Diddy Combs got a break today from the dismal lockdown atmosphere of the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn by appearing here in federal court for this pretrial hearing in his federal sex trafficking RICO case. Now, he won't be going home for the holidays. He's been denied bail 3 times. That didn't stop him from hugging every single member of his legal team. Now, let me show you some of the video from today. His son, Christian Combs, who he's very close to and actually created music and some hit songs with, known professionally as King Combs, was once again at the federal court to support his dad, flying in from Los Angeles to let his father know he was still in his corner and to show everyone that he was standing by him. Coming into the courtroom, the disgraced music mogul, Diddy looked a little rough around the edges compared to how he usually has been looking in these court appearances. His hair longer than normal, his tan prison shirt wrinkled, his face looked like he'd lost weight.
Let's talk about our boy Diddy. You know, the mastermind behind Bad Boy Records? Honey, he's survived more drama than a reality TV marathon, from those chart-topping albums to those OMG-worthy scandals. But sweetie, nothing could have prepared him for this epic fall from grace. When those sexual assault and trafficking allegations hit, boom! September comes around and our guy gets arrested. Now, Diddy being Diddy, he thought his fancy schmancy legal team would have him out faster than you can say bad boy for life. But oh honey, Christmas rolled around and instead of popping bottles in his mansion, he was staring at prison walls. The irony.
It's probably not the way Sean Diddy Combs ever expected to spend his holidays, behind bars in a federal detention center awaiting trial for sex trafficking, among other charges. His time behind bars is a stark contrast from living in multi-million-dollar mansions, flying on a private jet, and eating the finest foods, or at least a home-cooked meal. But as Combs is expected to remain behind bars until his trial in May after being denied bail multiple times, there are some things he could do on Christmas Day. It's not the first holiday Combs is spending behind bars. He spent Thanksgiving there too. Just a day before Thanksgiving, federal judge Arun Subramanian denied the defense's request to release the Bad Boy Records founder on bail. In his ruling, Judge Subramanian wrote the prosecution showed clear and convincing evidence that no condition or combination of conditions will reasonably assure the safety of the community.
This is Eyewitness News with live breaking news.
Breaking news as we come on the air at 3 p.m. Sean Diddy Combs has been denied bail once again. That ruling coming down just moments ago. It is the third time he has been denied bail. Combs' lawyers had argued that he should be released and placed on home confinement. The judge today cited evidence saying Combs is a serious risk of witness tampering and said he has violated regulations in jail. Combs has pleaded not guilty to racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, and prostitution charges.
Now, grab your pearls because this is where it gets juicy. December 26th, the day after Christmas, our usually cool as a cucumber Diddy supposedly had a complete meltdown. I'm talking full-on begging the guards to transfer him to a medical facility. Why? Child, we're talking about a serious mental health crisis. And what did those guards do? They gave him the silent treatment. Not a doctor in sight, not even a Band-Aid, just straight up nothing.
But now it's being reported that over the Christmas holiday, matter of fact, on Christmas, he had a meltdown. He had a breakdown. Okay, they're saying that he had an epic breakdown because he couldn't believe that he was really, truly still behind bars. Now, many people tell you when you're trying to break a habit that it takes 30 days to get used to your new way. But many people will also tell you that when it comes to jail, you kind of never really get used to it. You just take it one day at a time, literally. Now, like I said, the reports are saying he had an epic breakdown, but his sources and his friends are saying, nah, Diddy is doing well. But it's also being said that Diddy is pretty much refusing to eat over there in the Metropolitan Detention Center. Why? Because he's paranoid that somebody might try to poison him. Out of all the things that you can think can happen in jail, not somebody sneaking up behind you and trying to stab you like they did one of the YSL members. I think he got nicked in the head before he got out of jail. So you're not thinking that somebody's going to try to stab you, choke you, unalive you in a brutal way. He's thinking that somehow, some way, somebody is going to try to poison him through the food. Now, people hate when I do this. When my brain gets to working and I start getting to thinking, why would you think the food? But sometimes people think certain things because they have done certain things, and they think because they have done certain things in certain ways that people would do those things to them. I'm just saying, catch it if you catch it. If you don't, it's okay. Let's go ahead and get into this story. So, let me pull this up here for myself. So, Diddy's huge prison meltdown revealed as sex trafficker rapper remains in hellhole jail, okay?
Can you imagine? The man who's been living like royalty for decades thought he'd be home watching his kids unwrap presents. Instead, he's having an emotional breakdown in the slammer. For someone who's spent years crafting this image of being untouchable, this tea is scalding. And honey, that's not even the worst part.
So instead, Diddy spent Thanksgiving with other detainees, and they were served turkey roast, mashed potatoes, mixed veggies, cranberry sauce, gravy, rolls, and assorted holiday pies. And while Combs presumably is used to spending the Christmas holiday with his friends surrounded by a festive tree, instead he'll continue to be surrounded by other inmates. But he could play dominoes, card games, 3-on-3 basketball, and even soccer. The mogul can also expect a traditional holiday meal, just probably not one prepared by some of the best chefs in the world. According to MDC Brooklyn, the menu for Christmas Day features Cornish hen, mac and cheese, dinner rolls, cranberry sauce, and a holiday dessert. But the lunch menu is reportedly subjected to change. Combs has been behind bars since his arrest on September 16th. Federal prosecutors charged the mogul with sex trafficking, racketeering, conspiracy, and transportation to engage in prostitution, all of which he pleaded not guilty to. But Combs is facing a mountain of legal issues without his federal case. Since November of 2023, he's faced more than 30 lawsuits accusing him of sexual misconduct. Most recently, 3 men filed 3 different lawsuits anonymously accusing the embattled mogul of rape. One of the men claimed he was an errand boy for Combs' Bad Boy Records. He claims Combs raped him in February of 2020 at the Intercontinental Hotel in Times Square.
Now, let me tell you about the drama with his meals. Our boy Diddy is literally starving himself because, and this is the gag, he thinks someone might poison his food. A prison consultant spilled that Diddy's made quite a few enemies over the years, and poisoning his meals would be easier than getting backstage at a Bad Boy reunion. And before you roll your eyes, sweetie, this isn't just paranoia. There's been talk about poisoned inmates for years.
Okay, Larry, spill the tea. What are you hearing about Diddy's eating?
Well, I got an inside source there at MDC, and if they knew who it was, they'd really plot. When people go into custody, they have anxiety, they're depressed, a lot of things go through their mind. And one of the things they do is they stop eating. They lose a lot of weight. Look at somebody coming out of prison. They look like a POW or something, but they've been through the ringer. Now, there's a collateral issue that may be here. Look what happened to Jeff Epstein. I got people every day saying, you think they're going to Epstein him? And I go, well, I really don't know. But they can't have this guy do a suicide. It would look kind of funny. Now imagine if somebody got to one of the correctional officers, and this could happen. They don't make a lot of money. And there's people out there that he has things on that do have a substantial amount of money. Imagine if someone paid someone off on the inside to actually poison his food, give him a heart attack, and he dies. And no one would really think anything of it. So that may be one of the reasons he's not eating. He's really, really paranoid. He's really, really scared. He doesn't know what to think. He doesn't know who to trust or what to believe. Then he had a religious visit also, and a dietitian come talk to him. Now there's a possibility that he wants to go on a kosher diet. It's prepared a little bit differently. It's a religious diet. That could be another aspect as well. But I remember when I first went into custody at MDC Los Angeles, and I didn't eat for a couple days, but this guy's been there about a week now, so he should be in a routine.
Breaking news tonight, Diddy hungry? Sean Combs apparently refusing jail food. Some say he's missing his private chef and convinced he will be poisoned. Because remember, it's all about him. Okay, it's not about his alleged sex trafficking victims. It's about him. He actually thinks someone might poison him behind bars. Good evening. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. Thank you for being with us.
Diddy done it. Rap star and music mogul Sean Puffy Combs slammed with his 11th lawsuit just weeks after his arrest on sex trafficking charges.
And if you thought that was shocking, wait until you hear about his recent court appearance. The paparazzi nearly dropped their cameras. Our usually sharp-dressed mogul looked like a completely different person. We're talking shocking weight loss, gray hair, the whole 9 yards. It's giving scared straight realness.
Obviously, anyone who's behind bars is hoping to have a nice place to sleep, food, comfort, as you were saying. But is this place really dangerous? I know that they listed a couple of statistics that there had been several suicides, even potentially murders. So is it possible that he could be in danger?
So he's in protective custody now in the HELOO unit, but his lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, pointed out recent events in that prison, and MDC Brooklyn has been plagued with a lot of violent acts. It's been really criticized in terms of the conditions that prison inmates have to live with, and certainly Diddy would be facing potential dangers because a prison, by virtue of it being a prison, is not necessarily a good place to be. It's not a safe place to be, but particularly this facility is known to have a lot of problems in the last few years.
What would it look like for Diddy in this protective care unit, I guess? He's separated from general population, but what is his day-to-day like?
So Diddy's life in the HELOO, in that specialized housing unit where he's been placed for his own safety, is going to be something that's rather routine and mundane. He's not going to be necessarily even enjoying some of the things that general population, aka Gen Pop, enjoys, because he's being in a special segregated unit for his own safety, which means he's going to be under more constant observation by guards. His comings and goings in and out of his cell for recreational time and for meal time are going to be more scrutinized. So although the SHU unit is technically for the prison inmate's safety, and of course Diddy being a high-profile inmate requires that, it also means more restrictions for that inmate.
But here's the real question that's got everyone's group chats buzzing. Why did those guards ignore his cry for help? Some say it's just typical prison negligence. You know, treating him like any other inmate. But others? They're saying it's something much more calculated. Think about it. Diddy isn't your average Joe in an orange jumpsuit. His presence alone brings more attention than a celebrity wedding. Could this be some sort of power move by the prison higher-ups?
The conditions, his conditions. Think about someone who probably never wore the same outfit twice in a row or 2 times. And now all of a sudden you are in handcuffs, you're being processed, you're being booked, you're getting fingerprinted, you're going through an intake process. They're asking you questions about your medical history, your mental health. Are you in fear for your life?
Wait, excuse me, Dr. Hendricks, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask the control room why you keep showing me photos of a metal urinal? I don't care that Combs has to urinate into a metal urinal. Don't care. So if you think that's engendering sympathy or empathy, it's not. Okay, I'm sorry, Dr. Hendricks, you were saying for a guy that's used to never wearing the same outfit twice, what were you saying?
Yeah, and who's never lost control of his whereabouts. I mean, you think about, you go from a 14,000 square foot mansion in one city, a 17,000 square foot mansion in another city, and now you're in a 6 foot by 8 foot cell, 23 hours a day for the foreseeable future. That will take a mental toll on a person. However, I'm sure he's going through an array of emotions in terms of wanting to control his environment, what he eats, when he sleeps, who he gets to talk to. And based on the high profile, because this is a high profile case, obviously we would want to, or the institution would want to place him in a special housing or an area where they can, monitor his behavior.
Now, let me spill this last bit of tea. Apparently, our guy's been trying to keep it together through meditation. But even all the in the world couldn't make up for spending the holidays alone. Instead of his usual extravagant Christmas celebrations, he got a sad little holiday package with stale snacks from the commissary. How the mighty have fallen? So, what's next in this shocking saga? Diddy's got this massive trial hanging over his head like a dark cloud, threatening to wash away everything he's built over 3 decades. While his lawyers are working overtime, everyone's wondering if he'll ever be the same after this ordeal. It's giving real how the mighty have fallen vibes, from ruling the music industry to becoming a shell of himself behind bars. But here's what everyone's dying to know. Will we ever get the full story about what really went down during his health crisis? Or will it just become another mysterious chapter in the wild life of Sean Diddy Combs? Was this some calculated shade thrown by the prison system? Just plain old negligence? Or is there more to this story than meets the eye? Drop your theories below, and don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring that notification bell for more piping hot tea just like this.